What's up, everybody? Welcome to the return episode of the Non-Applicable Podcast. I just want to apologize in advance for this cold that I have. Been wanting to do this episode, but this cold has been kicking my butt. And I gotta do it now, regardless, because it's trust me, you'll understand. So anyway, what I'm going to do is a fantasy booking. And what I want to do is the fantasy booking of The Fiend versus The Undertaker for WrestleMania 36. There's 6.5, 7 months from now until then. There's plenty of time to set it up. Here's how you do it. We'd have to backtrack, though. We have to go in our time machine, go back to SmackDown, where The Undertaker is being confronted by Sami Zayn. All of a sudden, The Fiend shows up, but The Undertaker leaves during all that, because he can do that. So let's acknowledge that The Fiend and The Undertaker are on the same plane of paranormal activity. Excuse me, if you will. Now, in the following months, you really only need to do like one segment a month to keep fans understanding that this is where it's going. You have Firefly Funhouse episode where at the end the room kind of fills with smoke, which is then later in another episode debunked by saying it was I don't know, Mercy Buzzard playing with matches. Okay. Then you have in the next episode a month later a random gong sound, the bell sound for the Undertaker. And it's, Ramblin' Rabbit that rings the bell because Bray said the keyword for the day, or said, something, a trigger word. Then, in the following month, you have in an episode where you could have Abby the Witch get struck by lightning in the window. Because, if you've watched Undertaker over his career, random lightning strikes is not out of the realm of possibilities, so why not? And have it actually strike this puppet. So, that's 3 months. Now we've only got 3.5, 4 more months to cover. Now you switch it over to the other side where you have Undertaker showing up on Raw, wondering where, where Bray Wyatt is, how he can get to the Fiend. And have nothing happen in that first Undertaker promo, because then they're going to be expecting it, so you don't let it happen. Now we move on a month. Undertaker comes out again. Now you have something happen where all the signs point to the Fiend showing up, the laughing, the lights going out and flickering and whatever. But when the light comes back on, it's just the urn. It's Undertaker's urn, or it's one of Bray Wyatt's puppets there, or it's his gloves, or the mallet that he used to beat up Ramblin' Rabbit. Anything like that. The following month, you have it where Bray shows Undertaker's there, and then that whole thing happens again where you think the Fiend's coming, and then the Fiend does come, but the Undertaker vanishes. So now the Fiend's left in the ring by himself. So that's 6 months of no head-to-head confrontation, but you're still selling this storyline. You're still building up to this match at WrestleMania. Then, in the closing weeks before you have the match, you could do one of those stupid contract signings. I don't know how you want to do it. I don't think they should end up face-to-face, or you could have just Bray come down and sign the contract as himself. Or you could have Matt Hardy. So hear me out on this. You have Cole in the ring with the table and the chairs and the contract, and or he's like, we lost the contract, we don't know where it went, blah blah blah. Then all of a sudden, Matt Hardy shows up as Woken or Broken Matt Hardy, and he's got the contract, and it's signed by both of them, because Matt used to team with Bray. Woken Matt Hardy is also on that same plane. He could have very easily traveled to where he needed to travel to, in those other dimensions in order to get that contract signed. And that's how you set up 7 months of not having them face to face. Your typical oh, we're going to have this match in 2 weeks. Now let's have them face to face. Now let's have a brawl that clears the locker room. BS. Like, that's a tired storyline. They do that too much. I've just given you 7 months of this build up where you only need, I don't know, 5 minutes a night, 5 minutes a month, one segment for 5 minutes over the course of 7 months, and now you've set up this match. Now, in order for this match to be a success, it needs to be a gimmick match to hide Undertaker's shortcomings in the ring and to sort of help build the Fiend as this unstoppable force. Because you can throw in some weapons and stuff, and he just gets keep beaten down and beaten down, but he keeps coming back and coming back. So, first instinct for a lot of people is going to be Hell in a Cell. Nope, not me. I think a Buried Alive match. And I think that's a perfect idea for The Undertaker. And hear me out on this, and then we'll go on from there. The end of this match, you have Undertaker knock the Fiend into the grave, and he starts shoveling onto the Fiend. Then all of a sudden he just drops the shovel and looks freaked out and starts, backpedaling slowly. The camera pans into the grave. There's nobody there because it's the Fiend. And the Fiend is really just an idea. It's this urban legend. It's just all the bad parts, all the bad thoughts inside Bray Wyatt's head manifested into this creation of the Fiend. And you can't kill it. You can't bury it. You can't put it down. So it's gone. Then you have either the Fiend appear behind Undertaker, with the lights, the laughing sound and the lights or whatever, or even just regular Bray Wyatt appear behind the Undertaker. And then you have him hit the Undertaker with his urn or with the shovel right in the back, the meat of the back where they usually do chair shots for safety. That sounds weird to say. And then he buries the Undertaker. That's it. You just did a 7-month storyline, taking little to no time, really, out of people's viewing pleasure. And you set up this match, and then there's a crazy ending that I can't recall having seen anything like it. Maybe it's been done before. I don't know. But yeah, I obviously, because I thought of it, I think it's a great idea, and that's what we tend to do. But change my mind, like this, you can't convince me that there's. I'm sure that you could probably convince me that there's other ways to do this. I'm obviously going to be partial to. I'm going to be biased for my idea. But anyway, I think that's how you do that. That's how you get the Fiend and the Undertaker. They have, it's not going to be a 5-star match for sure, but it'll do. And the best thing about it is the optics of it, the visual of, trying to put down the Fiend, but you can't, because like I said, he's a urban legend. It's just all the badness in Bray's mind manifested into this creature, and that's it. But also, that has to be Undertaker's retirement match. So, I don't know how you do that. If you do, you put the title on the Fiend, like Hell in a Cell, he's rumored to be facing the winner from Clash of Champions. I don't know, put the title on him, let him carry it to Mania. You can even have a thing where, Bray Wyatt's seen without the title because Bray Wyatt didn't win the title, the Fiend did. So, I mean, it's that actually would combine Vince's love of part-time champs with our desire to have, it not on Brock. So, excuse me. So I think that's what they could have done. They still could set it up like that if they wanted to, but we won't. But anyway, that's that's all I have for that. What I'm going to do, hopefully, is some more episodes later, and I have some other ideas for past feuds that are over, and, there's always new ones coming up. So maybe I'll take a whack at some of those. Check me out, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook and Instagram is na.podcast919. Twitter is na_podcast919. As of right now, I will be at Clash of Champions. Unless somebody, fingers crossed, hopefully buys those tickets off of me from StubHub. I don't want to go anymore. It was an impulse buy back in June. That card did not shape up the way I thought maybe it could. I think they missed some good opportunities on that card. They've removed the King of the Ring final, which right now is Gable versus Corbin. I mean, there could have been a better matchup there, but whatever. Then the only non-title match that they have on the card is Rowan versus Roman, and I don't care about that. I would have rather seen Viking Raiders versus the OC, which was already perfectly set up a couple weeks ago in the Tag Team Turmoil match, also known as a Gauntlet match, where they were both double disqualified because they couldn't stop beating each other up and weren't listening to the ref. So you've set up that match, but now is it going to happen, or are we going to have to wait, far too long for it to happen? Who knows? We'll see what happens with NXT coming to USA Network starting next week, this coming Wednesday. So we'll see. Either way, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Check out some of the other content, even though it's old and probably irrelevant at this point. There's some gaming content on there if you haven't seen it. That's not so relevant. And I'll be trying to get some more stuff on here. And yeah, also be social on social media. That's what the social word is. That's why social is in there. I'm on Twitter quite a bit. I'm always up for conversations, and if you want to try to change my mind on anything that you hear that I say or what have you. I've also been blocked by Joey Ryan, which is fine because I hate that person. And then I was blocked by Xavier Woods, which kind of hurt my heart because I actually am a big fan of the New Day. So, I don't know if I've managed to get to them in order for them to block me. Maybe you should check out my stuff and let's have a conversation. Until then, I'll talk to you later. Deuces.